My boyfriend was going through a tough time and he said he needed a break. He said he was going to press pause on our relationship and go visit his family in Washington. I asked how you pause a relationship because I don't understand how that works. He said he needed some time to work on himself and asked me to respect that. After he left, I reached out to him a few times via text, asking him to let me know he'd arrived safely and to say hello to his mom for me. I received no response. I tried to call and left a message asking if he had broken up with me. I concluded that he'd ghosted me and my friends agreed. I was bummed and my best friend recommended that I find something like a new hobby or a new show to watch that wouldn't remind me of my boyfriend. I decided to get a dog. My boyfriend is horribly allergic to pet dander, so I never even considered getting a pet. However, since he broke up with me, I decided to get one. He's a senior dog from the shelter that needed rescuing. He's low energy and likes to lie with his head in my lap while I read, work, or watch TV. After being away for 6 weeks, my boyfriend texted me that he was back and coming over tomorrow, which was yesterday, so we could catch up. I was shocked and texted him back asking what he was talking about. He said he was back and ready to unpause our relationship. He said he would discuss everything with me the next day. I texted back asking what relationship. He didn't answer. Yesterday he showed up and told me he'd done a lot of self-examination and was ready to move forward on his life path. He even wanted to talk about moving in together. Then he saw my dog and started freaking out. He asked me how I could get a dog when he knows how sick he gets. I told him that since he broke up with me, I didn't think it mattered. He said he didn't break up with me. I said he ghosted me. He said he communicated with me, telling me he was pressing pause and visiting family. I said not answering texts is ghosting. We argued in circles and then he said he had to leave because he was getting an allergic reaction, even though he was standing in the doorway, not inside. I feel like he broke up with me and it was okay that I got a dog. He says that he never did and therefore it's a horrible act of disregard to have gotten a dog. Which of us is right? My best friend said I should break up with him because he's a jerk. I shouldn't have to break up with someone that already broke up with me. If I break up with him, I'm basically agreeing with him that he didn't break up with me and therefore I was an idiot for getting the dog. Right? Not the idiot. The dog is neither here nor there. You could have had a boyfriend in the apartment when he showed up and it would be none of his business. Pause isn't a thing. You don't put your partner on a shelf and then take them down when you're ready to play again. He played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. My guess? There was a girl where he was and he wanted to be free to take her down from the shelf and play. Please don't take this guy back. Yeah, exactly. Pause was just code for let me test the waters with someone else and keep you on standby. He treated her like an option, not a partner. You don't get to vanish for 6 weeks and then act shocked that the world moved on without you. Honestly, the dog has more loyalty than he ever did. The dog is a legend. The ex literally can't be around OP and had to leave shortly after spinning their BS. The situation could have dragged out and or been much worse. The dog deserves extra pats for keeping OP safe from an idiot. Girl, don't let this idiot have you running in stupid circles. The relationship is over. Block him and move on with your life. Congratulations on your new start with your new pet. I, 27 male, was having casual intimacy with Nia, 26 female, for 2 years when she got pregnant. I told her I'd stand by her and the baby, but she told me to care more about the kids than her because we were not a couple and never would be. About 6 months into her pregnancy, she told me she was putting her new boyfriend on the birth certificate and didn't want me involved. I told her I wasn't about to let her cut me out of our baby's life. She warned me I'd need to fight because she wanted to make things easier, and her boyfriend being the dad was easier. 8 months into her pregnancy, I found out she was expecting twins and not a singleton. The reason she never told me is the less I knew, the more she could make it look like I didn't care when paternity and custody became a fight. When the twins were born, I petitioned the court for a DNA test and to establish custody if they were proven to be mine. I had some doubts at the time because of how hard she shut me out. DNA showed I was the father of our twins, and a custody schedule was set up where I could be involved and pay child support. After paternity was settled and my name was put on the birth certificates, I really hated that I didn't have the same last name as them, so I changed mine to match. She heard about it through some people we both know, and she told me it was gross and she hated the idea. I told her it wasn't her decision and I wasn't doing it for her, but for me and to match with my children. This is my first Father's Day as a dad, and I get to share the same last name as my kids, which feels great. This last year has been crazy and it's still not over, but I don't regret the decision to match with my kids. I know my ex and her boyfriend think I was wrong. My ex's boyfriend taunted me a few times that he might share a name with my kids one day when I won't. They think I did it because of that. But my mind was on it even before he said it the first time. Was this an idiot move when it was about my kids and not my ex? I know it was her name first, but I don't know. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. They're your kids and you did it for them. Honestly, what I think is gross is the fact that your ex literally tried to keep your kids away, LMAO. I think you should throw that in her face every time she uses the word gross with you. In a world where we already have deadbeat dads and cowardly fathers, we need more men like you. So maybe your ex should stay in her lane and not worry about her name. She might not have hated him, or at least not initially. She might just want a pretend nuclear family where she gets to raise the kids in one household with a partner, no custody schedule, no co-parenting with a guy she doesn't particularly like, having her kids love her boyfriend, future husband, exactly like her father without any loyalty binds, every single Christmas, birthday, holiday spent with her kids. If you have enough money, single parenting can be a lot more fun than co-parenting with someone you don't like. I'm just saying that this decision could very well have come from intense selfishness rather than hatred. I'm wondering why these two are having casual, unprotected intimacy and agreeing to have kids when they have no special relationship with each other. You shouldn't just, have kids with someone you don't care about. You are a real man and shaping up to be a good or even great father. Fight for your kids. Love them, teach them, guide them. However, I can offer you this piece of advice. As your kids grow up, if their mother and her partner decide to badmouth you to your kids, there's a chance they will not do the same. Be neutral at worst. Show them how a real man behaves, with the strength to preserve through adversity, with pride enough to never allow another person's words to affect his actions, and with love and affection towards his children and those they care about, regardless of how they feel about him. I, 36 male, have a son, Leo, teen. He mostly lives with his mother, Christy, and her husband, Randy, as we thought it would be best for him to live in a more traditional home environment. Still, he visits often, especially when school's out. He's a great kid, social, good with school, sporty. Lately, though, I've been noticing that he's always worn out when he gets home to me. Like he'll come in and just sit on the floor of his room with the lights off, or fall asleep at the most random times. He says Christy's place is just a little tiring at the moment. Things in his room have been moved around, the lights keep flickering even after he turns it off, and his step-siblings are getting louder. Usually he doesn't come to me during the term, but on Monday he called me upset and asked me to get him. I got an Uber to pick him up immediately while I took off work to go meet them. I called Christy to tell her this was happening, by the way. I didn't just kidnap our son. He didn't say much when he arrived, still wearing his uniform. He hugged me, went to his room and shut the door. I checked on him and he was just lying on the carpet in the dark. Eventually he told me Christy sprayed strongly scented spray through his entire closet, bed and curtains because it smelled like a locker room. Leo is sensitive to smells, and the clothes were so strong that he couldn't hold them to his face, let alone put them on. I obviously got him a change of clothes and got him some food. Then I called Christy to ask what was going on. Leo has always had a thing about strong smells. I think it's genetic or something, so it's my fault. Christy said in the real world that some things are just going to smell. I said he manages fine at school and during swim training. He just wants comfort in his own room. Making him uncomfortable on purpose doesn't teach anything. She and I got into a fight and I told her Leo would come back when he wanted and I wasn't going to pressure him. She says I'm enabling and disrupting his schooling over clothes smell. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Reactions to scents and smells can cause physical issues. Nausea, headaches, migraines, stuffy nose, etc. She's the one disrupting his school, as he can't even sleep in his own bed, let alone breathe the air because it's toxic to him. Ask her why she's okay with poisoning her son. Keep him at your house until she pulls her head out of her butt. A teen boy smells like a locker room? That never happens. If someone did that to me, I know I'd immediately have a migraine. Poor kid can't just have peace in his own damn bedroom. I'm also sensitive to smells and currently they can cause a migraine or a vomiting spell. Currently scheduled to see a GI specialist about it since my doctor is stumped. It's serious and I don't blame your son one bit for not wanting to stay with his mom. She may think that she's toughing him up or whatever BS she thinks, but it's really just reinforcing to your son that his own mom isn't a safe person to be around because she just dismisses his feelings about his personal space. I mean this genuinely and kindly. Has he ever been tested for ADHD or autism? What you're describing, based on his other home environment, sounds like overstimulation, especially with the lights, noise and scented spray. After being in a loud place where I can't control the quality of the light, I also need to sit in a dim, dark place and do nothing for a while. And so do most of the people I know who also have ADHD. It sounds like your ex is picking up on your son's different needs and is annoyed by them rather than supportive. You're doing the right thing in trying to get her to accommodate those needs. It's important that he's supported even if this isn't neurodivergence. I, 23 male, broke up with my boyfriend, 25, of 2 years last night, and now I'm wondering if I overreacted. My cousin, 29 female, just got married to her wife, 28, in this beautiful ceremony. They're the first queer couple in our family to get married, and it meant a lot to me personally. Growing up, I didn't even know if I'd be allowed to be out, let alone see two women I love and admire stand up and be celebrated. My boyfriend, we'll call him Zach, came with me. He'd met most of my family before and everything seemed fine. During the reception, things got emotional. A few people gave unplanned toasts and my cousin asked if I wanted to say something. I kept it short, just said how proud I was, how beautiful it was to see queer love honored like that. That was it. When I sat down, Zach leaned over and quietly whispered, "You know, for someone who's not even in the wedding, you're really trying to make it your moment." I thought he was joking and gave him a look. Then he added something along the lines of, "You're going to cry again or save it for our wedding that we're never having." He smirked like it was nothing. I laughed awkwardly because I didn't want to cause a scene and ruin my cousin's wedding. But it stuck with me. I didn't say anything right away because it wasn't the time or place. I didn't want to make the night about me or create any drama. Later, back at our hotel, I brought it up. I said his comment hurt, especially since he knew how much this wedding meant to me. He brushed it off, saying, "Jesus, you're still on that? It was a joke. You were getting so sappy I thought you were going to propose." I told him I didn't think it was funny and that he had taken a moment that mattered to me, making me feel stupid for caring. He kept calling me sensitive and said I was overthinking everything, like always. So I told him I was done. I packed my crap, called a friend and left. He's texted since saying I made a scene out of nothing, that I chose a weird hill to die on, and that I'll regret throwing away a good thing over a dumb joke. Am I the idiot? He saw you happy and immediately needed to take you down a few pegs, didn't he? Because how dare you be happy? Nah, he's going to be an abusive idiot. You're not the idiot. What's with the wedding we're never having? Had you both agreed you weren't interested in marriage, or was he being a snarky idiot with that, insinuating that he was never going to marry you? He sounds like a massive douchebag. That comment seemed completely unnecessary and was just gratuitously mean. The boyfriend said that to be cruel. Period. Life's too short to stay with someone who's intentionally cruel. Even after you broke up with him, he still didn't apologize at all. A decent partner would have said they were sorry and that they didn't mean to hurt you. Actually, a decent partner would have loved seeing you care about another couple. Your tears are a wonderful sign that you cared and were touched. That's a great thing. Your ex mocking you for good qualities sucks. I, teen female, always knew my mom didn't love me. She tolerated me and was fine around me mostly, but I knew she didn't love me. She loved my half-sister, 24. That was always super clear. My mom actually spent time with my sister, nurtured her and praised her, and always made sure my sister knew her dad was the love of her life and no man compared. Every year on the anniversary of her late partner's death or his birthday or their anniversary, my mom and half-sister would go spend the whole day together, and they were unreachable. Mom was so different with me. I never spent any time with her, and even if we were spending time together with Dad or my sister there, she didn't take an interest in me. She ignored requests for hugs. She ignored my achievements. When I'd ask her a question, she wouldn't always answer. She was like that with my sister, but not me. Mom also didn't care when my sister denied we were sisters and would tell me I would never ever be her real sister. My mom was there a few times. She said it and said nothing. She's married to Dad, but I don't know why. Most of the time it's like she hates him. I think he genuinely loves her and is hurt that she doesn't return it. But I still wish my dad left when I was a baby and raised me himself. He tries to make up for Mom being unloving, but he can't while we live with her. It's an extra cruel torture to live with the parent who doesn't give a damn. And others notice. I always got asked why Mom didn't show up for parents' evenings or school plays and stuff like that, but she did for my sister. She never missed a thing when it was her. My mom's parents always bury their heads in the sand about it. They always looked for us to make more family photos and wanted replicas of photos of my mom and sister, but with Mom and me. Mom always has excuses about why we can't. There were weird and awkward moments when one of them asked for me and Mom to pose for a photo, and she ran to pose with my sister instead. Mom will talk a lot about my sister's dad being the love of her life and how much she misses him. She even talks about regretting that they only had one child and how she'd do anything to have more with him. I skipped the Mother's Day celebrations last month and my mom's parents noticed. Dad told me it was fine and he understood why I wanted to do something else. But Mom's parents asked so many questions about why, and even with the answers, they tried to say that our relationship would improve. questioning her love makes sense at my age, but of course she loves me. I told them she doesn't. I know I'm not loved by my mom, and it's because she had me with my dad, not the love of her life, as she always talks about. It upset her parents, and I told them to leave me alone, but they told me it's wrong to say I know mom doesn't love me, that she would never deny her child love because of who their father is. Even weeks later, I haven't apologized, and I don't regret saying it either, but they're being such a pain about it. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your grandparents are in denial because they don't want to think that their daughter is a bad mom to you, which she is to you. So maybe you won't waste your time and energy to win this woman's love, as my mother did for her own mother. At least you have your father. Grandparents aren't in denial, they're crappy people, just like their crappy idiot daughter. They just want Opie to fake like she has a good family when she really doesn't. I'm even mad at her selfish idiot dad who knows that his wife is a disgusting jerk to their kid but stays because he loves her. Opie is surrounded by selfish idiots. Thank God she only has a few years left. Then she can leave the garbage people in the bin where they belong.